Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Erlengrat. There we go, there's all of that lot, and now I will go and get a slurry spreader. Is this slurry spreader going to be able to pick anything up? Because this is the other thing that I'm curious about, is do we actually have any slurry in there, that any digestate that we can get? And if we can, how many times am I going to have to go backwards and forwards to our field in order to fully spread the stuff on the field? Now, when we get to the next version of the game, are we going to aim to buy back the biogas plant, make more silage, and tip stuff in and use digestate as part of our organic fertilizer? Or are we going to want to go for the pigs or the cattle option and try and do it that way? So, I mean, we can grow our own grass. We could do that. We could get all the grass growing equipment and stuff, and like we've already had that, so we can buy it all back, and we can feed the cows like that. We get milk coming from them, so they do make some money, and then we get the fertilizer from them that we can use to spread on the fields in the form of both slurry and as manure as well. So we've got two wonderful options for our fields. Let's go all the way through here. Don't need to go and get fuel or anything like that. And we want to go on down this way. Oh no, that's the fuel in there. And then we want to come up around the back here. So turn up this way. Past the kiosk. And right in here. Right in the wrong entrance just there. Now, let's have a look. Slurry tank. Guaranteed cot. Right there. That one. Do we colour it? We could have a red one to match our tractor. Case IH to match the tractor. I'm actually thinking that we might do that. We will go with that. So we can have the design in here can be colour, and you can pick a colour for the design as well. So if we've got red here, we could go with black. Ooh. I actually prefer that. And then we've got wide tyres, or we've got standard. Now, I would actually prefer to have wide tyres on this one. I think it would be better if we did. So I like the black design on here with the colour on that bit. Although it's weird. You can have the tanker any colour you like for free. But the logo being a different colour, you've got to pay €200 for it. But this time I'm going to be extravagant. We're going to celebrate the fact that we've managed to make a bit of money lately. And we are going to spend on our brand new tanker right here. Look at that. That does actually look pretty cool. I like that. I'm pleased that we've gone and spent that extra 200 to have the logo recolored as well. Definitely worth it. Now, it's saying they've got 1,110 litres of capacity. That's not true at all. It's because it's not recognising the fact that we've got a bucket, and the bucket only takes solid. We can't put liquid in the bucket. I mean, in theory, we should be able to put liquid in the bucket, but it's a bit difficult to go and spread the stuff evenly on the field if you try doing it from a bucket. That much I do actually know from personal experience. It's very, very difficult to spread slurry from a bucket. Having had to do that a couple of times. Not very much, admittedly, but I have done it, and it's really not easy. Has anyone here ever had to try that? Have you ever actually tried to tip slurry out of a bucket and try doing it? It's just about impossible to get it right. You can tip the bucket, but the nature of slurry is that it's generally very... Either you get a lot of lumps in it, and then you just get these lumps all over the field, which isn't good. You then got to go and break them up somehow, and you really don't want that. Or you got it very liquid, and very liquid, it's very difficult to control it, because every time you move, it slops backwards and forwards. So you're trying to tip it out so that it just dribbles out of your bucket, just slowly and gently and carefully. But if you need to turn a corner or anything like that, you've got to tilt the bucket up and hold it back, or you can end up slopping a load out onto the field. So you end up with not enough, you end up with bits that are missing, or you end up just slopping a great big puddle of the stuff right out in the field. And if you slop a great big puddle of slurry into the middle of the field, you can't really just leave it there because it kills the grass underneath it. You've got to spread it out a bit. So then you've got to get out, and believe it or not, a brush is the best thing. If you've got if you've got a big puddle of liquid slurry on your field, you want to get a stiff bristled brush, and you just use that and you spread it out. You need wellies on. Trust me on this. You want to have your wellies. We need to sell that roller, don't we? Before we sell this whole place. So yeah, you have a puddle of the stuff there, and you're in trouble, basically. Now, where am I going to be loading this from? There's a spout there. It does indicate that maybe I could reload from here. There's nothing there. Now, I've got a load point, but I don't have an unload point. I'm starting to think that maybe this particular... Right, I got none of the usual reloading options, which makes me think that maybe we don't have the ability to take slurry out of this facility. There's no digestate here, and that would be infinitely disappointing. There's nothing there. Right, we'll have to come back to this in a minute, because we've got to do this one. We have to keep this one running. There's a little patch over there that it's not got, so we'll come back over to that in a second. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's not even loading. I've got the visual is on there. Why won't you load the potatoes? There. No. Stopped again. Just put the potatoes in there. Go on, fill up. I need a little bit more. Please. Just a little, please. I don't want it to stop. 20. There's all just... This is ridiculous. How is that so sensitive? That is absolutely ridiculous. I really don't like this trailer at all anymore. I thought this trailer was the bee's knees. I really did. Unfortunately, we don't have anything else that we could use. We got auger wagons right in here. And it's an auger wagon that we got, isn't it? It's not. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's that one. It's that one right there. Missing function seed tender. I wonder if we should have listened to that as a clue. Right, that's 8,000. This one's 6,300. What does this one have? Now, let's have a look around this one. It doesn't have... We got green, orange, but it doesn't have a spout. How is that supposed to work? Blue, red, blue, green, orange. Yeah, see, this one here doesn't seem to have any kind of spout on it, so I'm not even sure how we'd be able to make it work. It's a... similarly priced, so, you know, the price is good. I like the price. Then, of course, we got that one, which is 20 grand. It's expensive. I mean, we do have the shuttle right here. Now, that's only 2,200 capacity, which is not great. There's that seed tender there, which is 21,000. There isn't really a lot of options. I haven't got a lot of options here for the auger wagons. Is there anything else? I mean, miscellaneous doesn't have anything, does it? No. But the only other option that we could use is the milling machine coupled up with dumping a load of seed on the ground. That we could do. We could go over, we could get the seed, we could bring it back here, we could tip it out on the ground, and then just use the milling machine to fill it up. That we could do. And... I mean, it's not an ideal solution, but at least it's cheap. You know, we can afford that. It's completely free at the moment because we don't have to pay anything extra for it. So I'm already liking this idea because of the lack of, you know, money that we'd have to spend, which does have a certain appeal. So maybe we'll go and do that. I don't know yet, but I know I'm getting a bit fed up with how that one's working. So I'm going to bring you in over here like this. I'm going to lower that one down there, and off we go again. And now I'm going to see if I can find where the digestate is in this facility. Now, all I got at the moment is you need to fill the tool. I don't have any options. I got unload here. But nothing's coming up with regards to actually filling the thing up. There's always digestate at the biogas plant though, isn't there? Why doesn't this one have digestate? Do I need to come out here? I mean, maybe I need to go in... Ooh, wait, what's this? Ah, right. Okay, we can get rid of that. Start filling. There we go, look. See, we've got 200,000 litres of digestate. It does work. We do actually have it. There. You just got to be underneath the spout. That's all it was. I was in too close to the other side. So, being in... this mode, just being like this, doesn't actually show it up. I mean, if I stand directly underneath it, stand up, you stand right underneath it, right there, with your mouth hanging open, still don't get a drop. Nothing coming out. Right, that's on 42,000, so we've got a little while before that one's empty, and then we can go and get the trailers, and we can tip those out. So let's go on up the road, and get a little bit of this spread on the field. See what the field has to say about it. I suspect the field's going to be rather grateful for getting a little bit of stuff like this spread on it. That's my sneaky suspicion. See this lovely road that we got up through here, this track that we got up through here? I actually like the design that I did for our track a bit more than I like this. This is, like, it's solid all the way up through. And I feel that a track like this going through, unless there's a... I mean, yes, I suppose you could have added in a load of stone. Up here, it seems a bit more realistic. With the patchy bits of grass, the patchy bits of gravel as well. So you've got bits of mud showing through as well. That feels a little bit more real to me than what we've... the rest of that track. So, I really like what I'm trying to say is that I really like the track that we've gone and built. But... it's just a little bit too big, isn't it? So we need to kind of narrow that down a little. So what we would do here is we need to go right round and roundabout. So we need to be indicating, go right round and roundabout. And then we need to be indicating that we want to turn off the roundabout right here. Like that. And come on out. And then we go along our rough old track right here. Like I say, I'm not going to go and do anything to the track down through here now, but when we come back to the next one, I'm actually thinking that I probably won't go and start doing a load of work on the fields and that before the series starts. I will have a save file, and I'll make sure that we've got the right amount of money in there. But the rest of it we will do on camera, so we'll get everything ready. So we'll sort of have a preparatory episode or two, just to get things ready, and then we can actually start doing the proper work after that. So we want to run this one down here. It's a bit difficult to see where the slurry is going. You can just make it out. But it is difficult, like, it's a little bit tricky to see with the potato texture as well. So one load here is definitely not going to do all of this field. We're going to need 3 or 4 times backwards and forwards to be able to spread slurry on this, which is a bit unfortunate. We didn't really want to be doing that. That would have been the advantage of having the other one, but the disadvantage of having the other one is that that one cost an absolute fortune, whereas this one didn't. Look at him wagging his tail like a little puppy there. So we'll bring that one back round there. Plus this one requires a substantially lower amount of horsepower to pull it properly compared to what the Joskin one would have done. So then I'm going to go this way and spread a bit more there like that. And then we'll go here and start putting a bit more up across this field here. And I'm going to take it up to the bit just here. And then I'm going to set the hired help going, because the hired help is going to be able to judge this far better than I can. I know I complain a lot about the hired help, but he does have his merits at times. So there we go. We have got the Garant cot with the case tractor dragging it up across the field and spreading slurry onto our potatoes. Apparently he has completely finished doing that and doesn't want to do any more for some strange reason. Now, why are you doing that? Because... I'm not actually sure. Growth. Fertilizer. Oh! Because ploughing it all up, we already went and basically we ploughed in everything that we needed to plough in. So we don't need to do any more on that one. This one over here, we're going to want to do some more work on. So we're going to want to get going with ploughing that one. But before we start ploughing it, we could actually go and put some fertilizer on there so we can go and do some more. So I've done one line of fertilizer down through. I'm not actually going to want to do any more than that on that field. There's a little bit down in the bottom corner that we'd want to do something to, but not a lot. So we'll go over to you. Start this one up, and we'll go and get some more potatoes loaded up using this. You know what? I'm just going to change the seed drill over. It's going to be a lot faster, a lot easier if we just do that, because otherwise we're going to be there messing around all day, aren't we? And this will allow us to refill twice anyway. So we'll go and do this. We'll do this method. This is a much better method. I don't think I can put seeds into the fertilizer spinner, otherwise I'd just use the fertilizer spinner to do it. That would be even faster. So bring you underneath there like that. Put 1,000 out like that, and then we'll back over here and tip that one out. That's going all the way over there. And I'm going to come back under and I'm going to do the same again. Right, so we'll come back over here and I'll put another one out. Right, so there's 4 loads with our seed drill. So we're going to take this one, we'll unhitch this one. That's 4 times with the potato planter. That should be enough. I'm hoping that'll be enough. Some people pointed out that I should have used our own potatoes for seed for this one. And, well, yes and no. Yeah, you can save your own potatoes, but if you do that too much, you end up... they can become more susceptible to disease in your area. So, I mean, yes, technically they could become less susceptible to disease because you sort of built up a local strain, but you're not reproducing the potatoes. What you're doing is you're just using clones of potatoes. If you're just taking a potato tuber and planting it, all you're doing is putting a clone in the ground and growing the exact same plant again. And that's what happens with it. If you are waiting for the potatoes to actually turn into seeds, taking the seeds from them and then growing them again, that's entirely different, and that's what the companies do that provide you with seed potatoes. That's how they work. They don't all do that, but it's how new varieties can be created. And then the older varieties are all just clones. If you've got a nice variety, it's a clone of that same variety. And yes, they can breed specific genetic, like they can try and breed traits into it and get a variety that was a very similar variety, but basically you're talking about cloning the plant rather than getting a whole new plant. So I'm not sure how they do it, because if you have 2 potato plants and you get the seed from them and you plant the seed and then those potatoes grow, they can be completely different. Like the variety of potatoes you get off of that can be completely different. But the companies that do the potato breeding, they and grow your seeds and that, they are able to do this so that they can help selectively try and breed in new traits into the potatoes to make them stronger, more robust, more resistant to disease and so on, but essentially be the same variety, or at least a very, very, very similar variety. So they go and do that bit, And then you get potatoes that are a little bit more resistant to disease. If you have the same variety of potatoes going over and you keep reusing the same potatoes on your own land all the time, what you can end up with is potatoes that become... the disease and the bacteria in the soil that's in the soil in your area, they sort of become more adapted to the potatoes that you're planting, and so your potatoes are more likely to get hit by that disease, which is why you want to have a variety of potato. You want different potatoes going in there. Now, I don't currently see... I'm just going to do it like this. I can't really see where I'm spreading that out. Am I even spreading it onto the field? I am. It's very, very difficult to make out where I've spread. It's very difficult to see where I've spread with this one. So we'll do once around the edge, then we're going to have to go and reload it anyway. And then we're going to be... if you look here, I really am struggling to see where the edge of this field is. So we're just going to have to sort of go on the field, on the tyre tracks. That's what we're going to have to rely on. Right, that's finished. So now we need to go and reload anyway. But I'm really struggling to see where that one was actually doing anything on the field. So we'll put on the beacons. Go whizzing up round here. So I could save the seed potatoes back. I could keep some potatoes back, and I could use those for next year's crop, but they would be identical to the potatoes that we've already got. So if we've already had some disease hit our potatoes, then that particular bacteria that hit the potatoes is going to be in the soil, and therefore it's going to be more likely to affect our potatoes the next time round. So what we want is we want to put different varieties into the soil. If you're going to do a potato crop in the same field 2 years running, you don't want to be putting the exact same variety in there unless you've got a very good reason to think that you can stay on top of any diseases that might be in there. You can do that, don't get me wrong, you can definitely do that, and you can keep your own potato seed back, especially if you're rotating it around. Like what we're doing here, we're planting the same potatoes that we've used last time. We could be, in theory, but we're putting them in a different field. So that we could do. Like, we could have absolutely done what people suggested, and we could have gone and used the same stuff all over again. That's down to 35,000 there. We could go and... I'll tell you what, we'll do one more load with the slurry, and then we'll come and we'll tip out some more silage. So I'll go right there like that, and I should be able to load up another 8,000 litres. Fantastic. Off we go again. We'll take this back down to that field, and we will do exactly what we did last time. We will spread the... We'll keep going around the outside edge, spreading the slurry, and then I'm hoping we can get the hired help to do something to help us out. Because I can't really see where the edge of the field is. Now that's our biggest problem there, is we can't see what we're doing. It's a slow old drive, isn't it? It's a good job we haven't got a really big field to go and cover. If we had a huge field down there, I think we'd struggle a lot more. Alright, we'll come up round this way and we'll follow the road on down. It'll take us back to pretty much the same spot that we were last time. And then we can keep going. Spreading this delightful stuff right behind the really expensive homes. I'm sure they are absolutely delighted that we are their neighbours. I know I would be. See these hard-working farmers out in the field spreading as much manure onto the land right outside the expensive chalets as we possibly can. Yes. You can just hear the city dwellers screaming in horror at the thought of moving to the peaceful countryside and then finding out that, well, actually the peaceful countryside does have people that need to work for a living, and in order to grow your food you actually have to feed the food. And plants, believe it or not, they actually consume food that you may not yourself find all that appetizing. It's all a shock to the system. I know, I understand your terror at what you have discovered here, but That's how it is. We have to put our big boy pants on now, and we have to accept that this is how life is, and we need to move on. Either that, or I, as a farmer, will do everything in my power to make life as difficult for you as I possibly can. Not necessarily true of everyone, but yeah, there are definitely people out there who I would have no qualms about making life difficult for, just because of the petty, ridiculous things that they complain about. We need to go and get that seed drill going again. I can just make out where the edge of the slurry has been spread right here. It's not very easy to see, but I'm just going to bring this one up to there like that. I'm not going to worry about the top part of the field just yet. I'll bring this one back down over here. And we're going to get it kind of lined up there. Now, we're not going to start just yet. What we're going to do is we're going to go over to this one. Start up again. We don't appear to have missed anything, so we'll run down here now, and we will load up the next load. It's a lot quicker doing this, isn't it? So we just pop down here like this. We go next to that bag right there, and then we load that one up. Easy. Just like that. And we go back up again. So 3 more times. This isn't going to finish the field 3 more times, but we're going to be an awful lot closer to getting all of these potatoes in here planted. The top part of the field's got something growing there. I don't think that's actually baby potatoes. I think that's weeds coming through. I think where we've gone and put the line of slurry, it's, you know, activated the weeds coming through. Which means that... Let's just go and have a look on the map a minute. Yeah. There's weeds making their way down across the fields. Because it's at this early stage, it would actually be a good idea, I think, to go and buy a... I'm just going to put that one going there, and I'm going to press H here, and I'm going to see what H does. Not a lot. Right. In which case, I will do it myself, manually, like that. And go right the way through there, up to this point. I'll press H again, and then he'll go all the way up to the end. Still spreading. And then he will stop, and then he will do his turning around. Right. Those weeds that are slowly creeping down across the field, we could go and buy a rake to take those out. A weeder. The cheapest one is 18,000. We could get that one right there, and we could get across the land with that. There's one there. That is some substantial rake. That's 21 meters wide, that is. That's a beast of a rake, that is. Not sure that we want to be using something that size. And all the way across the field over here. So if you look at it from this angle all the way over here, you can see that we are actually doing a pretty reasonable job. Right? It does seem to be covering all of the field. This is good. And then we're going to want to plough it, and then we're going to want to cultivate it, and then we're going to want to get another round of slurry on it. Although actually I think it would be better if we could put slurry on it, if we could do the planting. Yeah, we'll do the planting first. I think doing the planting first would probably be the best option. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.